Be good. Be very good.
Well, today I'm not going to be very good, but I'm going to try to be nice. Hey guys, this is Yaya Diamond, and this is a shout out to Marcus Bohlander again, and he has an article out, and we're going to be talking about it. This might just, this might bring up some points that most people are not saying out loud. And mind you, he is in a country that if he says this, automatically he's going to be taken off to you know, prison or something. I don't know. But he's saying it anyway. And he's saying it on his blog. And we're going to go ahead and share that screen with you because I want you guys to see this. Now, I already finished reading this article, but I was at the bottom, so sorry. So, dear Mr. Corporation, humans buy your but not algorithms. So I wanted to find out what he was talking about. And I got really into this article, and the first thing that I really figured out was that he was talking about woke. So some people know what woke is, and some people are like, "What the heck is woke?" Okay, they didn't even pay attention to what it was. No one really. Some people care, some people don't care. So I wanted to kind of go over this and talk about woke really quick. It says woke originally meant being aware of social injustices and systemic inequality. Over time, the meaning widened and polarized. So the original sense was alert to racism, discrimination, and unfair systems, encouraging awareness and solidarity. The popular usage is a shorthand progressive positions on race, gender, sexual orientation, and related social issues. The critical pejorative sense used by opponents to describe perceived excessive political correctness, virtue signaling, or politics or policies that prioritize identity politics over concerns. Contemporary reality is a contested, emotionally charged label that can praise social consciousness actions or be used to dismiss them as performative or harmful depending on who's speaking. So woke can mean anything from genuine social awareness to a dismissive insult. Context determines whether it's approving, neutral, or critical. This has gotten overbearing. It's got out of hand. I mean, literally, it went from discrimination, racism, and unfair systems to everything. So now, so this is pretty much like okay. So let's get into this really quick. There is no B2B or B2C when you're selling to people. Stop marketing to abstractions, okay? So that's basically what it is. It's like, okay, B2B is business to business and B2C is business to customer. But nowadays, there really is no definitive line on if you're selling to a business or a customer or a person or whatever. Because guess what? Everyone is in business and everyone and every person has a business that they're running. So B2B doesn't really technically exist because you're dealing with the person. Like, say, you're dealing with this person, right? And this person leaves that particular business and they go to a different business and then now they have someone else dealing with that, but they don't like what you're saying. That's B2C. You see what I'm saying? Like your business is still selling to customers, regardless of whether it's a business or a customer. It's still you're still selling to preferences. Yeah. So and this gets into like woke now because woke covers everything. I'm yeah. It's confusing, darling, and I'm so sorry it is, but it is. Okay, Jaguar. We're gonna talk about Jaguar. Jaguar didn't lose customers because they were too woke. They lost them because the campaign ignored what buyers actually want. Buyers are your customers, regardless of whether they're buying for a business or whether they're buying for their own home or their own whatever they have or their car. They're still customers. Okay, so B2C is where it's at. You're dealing with a customer, a client who wants what they want. And you're going to lose other people. You're going to lose them if you're not giving them what they want. What do they want? They want value. They want but they want productivity. They want, all kinds of different things. They want stability. Sometimes, depending on what you're giving them, they want quality. No matter what you're doing, we don't want to be picking up something and then all of a sudden it's breaking because you picked it up. That's not quality. So regardless of whether you're selling to a business, you're selling still to a person who is representing the business. That is a B2C. Excuse me. Sorry. Let me go down here. Safety theater is in AI is turning creativity into beige paste that nobody pays for. You get that? AI is really truly taking over a lot of different things, ideas and things like that, and it's cutting down the time and the time frame that it would take a person to study and research. It's happening within seconds. It's happening and no one wants to pay for this anymore. No one wants to pay for research anymore. You got to get with the program. You got to get with this, okay? You don't have to be pushed out of the game because you're not giving the client what they're asking for. Go to AI and ask AI what is trending right now. What do people want? And it will tell you because it has the pulse, it has its computer finger on everything that's being sold right now. So it's turning into beige paste. Nobody wants to pay for this. Give people what they want. Okay, Microsoft won by being hardware agnostic, politically neutral, and not patternistic. Okay, many AI films are doing the opposite. Listen, when I'm going through a community of, those communities, those gated communities, I call those cookie cutter houses, cookie cutter houses. But I don't want a house that's cookie cutter, and I don't want to be restrained by having to have my house the same color as the next person's house. And I don't want the next person to be like, well, you can't put this out there, and you can't put this there, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. That is my house. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But this is all apparently woke. Everything's woke. Are you awake? This is really becoming crazy. So, marketing must target human motives, not corporate personifications. All right. Treat buyers as people with taste, budgets, and habits, not as a faceless B2B. You're dealing with people. These are people running companies, and they have preferences. As we talk about like the strategies that rebrand and the product and all that stuff, you have to be you have to be kind of sensitive to what people are actually looking for. Just because your name is popular, just because your name is huge, just because your name is out there and it's quality, doesn't mean that you're always going to hit the market. You know what I mean? Look at a lot of these phone companies out there and tech companies out there that have folded because they didn't give the client what they wanted. Regardless of whether it was B2B or B2C, they're still clients. There is no B2B or B2C. There is none. And I love what Marcus has said. Let's go ahead and let's look at this for a second. I really truly want you guys to see this. So what he has said is, and and it's true. It's true. There is no B2B. B2B market is the biggest lie ever sold to businesses. Don't think that you're going to be a B2B. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that you would even think that you would be selling to a B2B when you're actually dealing with a person. When you're dealing with a person, it's B2C. And so tell me when you're dealing with a business, a conglomerate that actually has business board members that have absolutely, I mean, to me, it's like, okay, you have board members sitting in front of you, right? Each board member knows the purpose. They have had a business meeting to talk about the things that they want. And now you come in and you show them something that they don't want. I'm sorry. That's not the direction that the client, the customers want to take the business. You get it? You understand where I'm coming from? All right. Because I'm hoping that you're getting this, because a lot of people have so many different viewpoints on selling to businesses, but you're not selling to businesses. You're selling to a company run by people, and they have preferences. Their clients, their people. It's always going to be customers, B2C. Always. And it's in the textbooks, it's in the activists hijack your marketing department. The current thing, what is trending this week? Okay, it's trending this week, and next week is going to be something totally different. If you put yourself in a position where you're always going to be the mainstay, then you're good to go. But remember, everyone has the trending stuff that's going on this week. But if you're doing this and you're selling to a business, next week you're out of a business. You're selling to people. And minds change. So there's just so many different things in this article that, I mean, oh my gosh, it's just so bad. Like the echo chamber problem. Here's a problem with every bubble. Everyone's inside eventually made mistakes, and the echo chamber is the correct opinion if you're a weird dude in rubber boots exclusively worn by redheads, dwarves, and with athletic foot who only drink llama milk, and you spend enough time on Reddit and Twitter with your 5 fellow fetishists, you eventually think, oh yeah, I'm going to build my own fan base and become the king of fungus boots. Tomorrow the world is mine. And yeah. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about how this is going to happen. But if you're Uno cards, and people always want Uno cards, it's a staple. It's like, let's go play Uno. Everybody knows what Uno is. Everybody wants Uno. Why? Uno gave the people what they want, and they continually sell. Continually sell. Uno is a staple. It's not fungus boots. Fungus boots may be this week, but Uno has surpassed so many different years. How about Rubik's Cube? A staple. How about light bulbs? Toilet paper. That was a big commodity back in COVID. Toilet paper, paper towels. Be a staple. Don't be a a trend. Be a staple. And remember that this is all about being B2C, and the woke thing really doesn't come into play with this, because these are things that people need. People. And we're all people. Do you know we all come from one male and one female? And here we are. We fight, we argue, we kill, we maim. These are things that we're doing this to our family. We're family. We are all family. And to me, it's like, you're not just selling to your client, you're selling to your family member. I know I'm going deep here, but ultimately saying, to me, this is just travesty. This is tragic that we would even think that these things, would sell. But not only that, that we would, how would you say it? That we would deceive our own people into believing all of this stuff is really real, and not going back to the basics, not going back to the one thing that we know is true, that we're selling to each other lies. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to sell a lie. I'm not into selling lies. I'm into selling truths and things that people need. And that's why I'm here. And it's like, that's why I love this article, because it goes deeper than just like B2B and B2C. It goes into all different kind of principles and you know, just being a person and loving people, and stop messing up all the things and putting politics into stuff. You know, to me, to me, and please don't get me wrong. When it comes to selling to people, we need to give people what they need. The trends are cute and they last a week or two, but practicality, necessities, that's what we need to be doing. Now, having fun is not something that I'm against. I'm all for fun, and trends to me are fun, but they're trends. B2B and B2C, and giving people junk and selling it at ridiculous prices. Yeah, Marcus really hit home on this one. And I'm going to put the link in the description box so you can see it. It's just, look at this. The invisible lawsuit that shouldn't exist. You know, I mean, you need to read this. This is really going to hit home for a lot of you guys, especially people in business and people and customers who are looking for the realness of the people who are supplying them. Let's be real, guys. Let's cut this down into a realness. There is no such thing as B2B. It's always business to customer or business to client. And every client has its preference. Okay? And woke, regardless of who made it or what, we need to be seriously selling or seriously providing services for everyone, regardless of their color, regardless of their sexual orientation, regardless of who they are. Because ultimately, you make the product, and a lot of times you don't even know who buys it. Because you're selling to another client who has a business and they sell it in their stores or they sell it on their websites, and you don't know who it is. You just make the money. So give people something they can use. Give the client what they want. So that way you can become a staple and not a trend. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got to say. And Marcus, amazing as always, and great article. And he's got so many more articles that you can check out. All you have to do is go ahead and go to Medium and look for Marcus Bohlander. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen so that you can see his name very big. He's got a lot of articles. He is a journalist and he has done so many different things and so many different articles, and he does not beat around the bush. So if you don't want if you don't want it on the real, don't follow him. But if you do want it on the real, I'm gonna put his link in the description box so that it'll be easy for you guys to find him. Go ahead and join Medium. It is a free service. It's free for everyone. It's because Marcus, he tells the truth and he has no hair on his tongue. So, and until next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different. But most of all, don't forget that this is all about supplying people and loving each other. Stay alive. Until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching.